Welcome friends to the channel Classy Frugality. My name is Tanya and I'm glad that you decided to join me today. Well, you can see the steam rolling behind me. I'm standing here in the kitchen. I'm boiling a chicken carcass right now and it smells delicious. So I wanted to do a video today about rotisserie chicken, and I just wanted to show you exactly how many different things you can do with one rotisserie chicken, one $5 chicken, and how many meals that we were able to get from that. So we've already eaten a couple of the meals. One night we had just the chicken. We cut off, you know, pieces of the chicken. We had it with some mashed potatoes and corn and just some bread, and we had it like that, and we had really big portions of it. The second day we had both lunch and dinner, just chicken sandwiches. You know, I pulled it off the bones, and I had a pack of hamburger buns that I'd gotten at Kroger for like 85 cents or something like that. And I made us a total of 8 chicken sandwiches out of that. There are 2 of us here at the house, me and my husband, and so for lunch I had 2 chicken sandwiches, he had 2 chicken sandwiches with some chips, and we did the same thing that night at supper. So now what I had left in there was the carcass, and so when you first look at it, you might think, oh, there's not very much left on it, I'm just going to throw it away. But you wouldn't believe all the meat that I was able to still get. And I just put it in this skillet just to warm it up. But that's all the meat I was able to get off of that carcass. So just a little bit of skin in there. And even on the bones, the carcass itself, there's still some meat on there that I just couldn't get. So let me stir it a little bit. That's what I've got going in this pot. I just put all the bones in there, if you can see the head. I put water, a couple bay leaves, and just a little bit of salt, but I didn't put a great deal of salt because, like I said, it was a rotisserie chicken. It was already deliciously seasoned, so I really didn't feel like I needed to add much more than a little bit of salt. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to let that boil up, and then I'm gonna cut up these carrots. I had these carrots left over from a bag. I got these at Kroger the other day. It was on reduced. It was manager special, whatever they call it. These were $1. And then I've got part of an onion left over, and I'm gonna cut the carrots up and boil those, dice that onion up, mix it in with that chicken, and probably cook it a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to make 2 more meals out of this. So like I said, we've already had one supper for 2 people that consisted of chicken, mashed potatoes, and a can of corn. And then the next day we had a lunch and a dinner for 2 people, 2 sandwiches each. So you could have stretched that. If you have a family of 4, they could have gotten a sandwich and maybe a baked potato. So we had that already. Now we're going to make 2 more meals out of this one $5 rotisserie chicken. So I'm going to get to work on this. This is going to boil some more, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so I'm just going to show you my progress. Let me turn this vent fan off. It gets noisy, but it gets so steamy in here, and whatever, sweaty, condensation, whatever. I have to keep that on. So I added more water, like a whole cup full of water to this, because it had boiled down quite a bit, and that carcass is breaking down quite a bit. You see a lot of the meat's coming off the bones here. But That's still got a little way to go. I also diced up the onion and I added it to the chicken over here in this skillet, and I put a little bit of water in with that because I don't want big crunchy raw onions in either the pot pie or the chicken noodle soup. And I thought that would be a good way to help break some of that chicken apart too. So that's what we're doing there. And then I diced up the carrots, and I had these boiling. I need to turn them back up some. Let's see. I need to turn that down some. Okay. I cut the carrots up, put them in boiling water, and then I decided to go ahead and peel and dice 2 potatoes, put them right in with these carrots, and let them boil right in with that. That kills 2 birds with 1 stone, plus you're not having to turn on so many burners. Same idea behind those onions, putting them right in with that chicken. All right, so I've also got my oven preheating to 350 degrees for the pot pie, and I just got to let this carcass boil down a little more. Sorry, I feel like I keep saying carcass. Carcass. Anyway, the bones. I'm going to let the bones boil down some more in that water to get as much flavor out of that we can, to extract as much meat from those bones as we can. And I'll be getting my stuff together to make the pie crust. You've seen me make this pie crust before if you've watched my video where I made a turkey pot pie. Same crust. It's the Pie pie crust, the Brenda Gant pie crust. You mix it all in one container. You mix it right in the pie plate and pat it out right in it. And then you pour your stuff in there, whatever you want to put in it, and you bake it. It's so easy. But I'm going to get all that together, and we're going to let this cook some more, and I'll be right back with you. Everything is cooked. The oven is preheated. I turned the burner off on this, on the chicken bones. And I'm going to start with this slotted spoon, and I'm going to start getting as much as I can out. Just taking these bones out and the bay leaves and everything. Just putting these in this bowl over here. You can get most of it out this way, I think. And it still looks like there's meat on those bones, I swear. I might even save these and put them in a crock pot, make some more stock, because I think I could get more out of it. I really do. They just keep, see that? Look at that. Look at that. Wow. There's some more. That's a big chunk right there. Oh my gosh. Get that out now. Use it in our soup if I can. Okay. Make sure to watch for the neck bones though. Especially if you have people with, you know, choking issues or small children or somebody that's going to eat this soup, make sure that you don't leave any of those little neck bones or any of these little tiny bones like this in there. Be really extra careful about getting all that out. Because it's not worth being frugal if it's you know, gonna get you choked, cause you an injury, whatever. But we got some really nice, flavorful broth going here, and this kitchen has smelled so very good. Let's see what we got there. I don't want that. That looks good. I'll keep that in there. I got this strainer out to strain it, but I feel like I might be able to get it with this spoon. Okay. Haha, there's another one. Chunk. Just keep going through here till you get it all. I don't like big pieces of gristle. That look like gristle more than anything. Okay, that's definitely meat. If you want to put yours through a strainer, put yours through a strainer. If that makes you feel more comfortable. Oh, and I will say too, I had to add more water to this again, and it was probably 2 cups of what I showed you. Now, let me pull my sleeves up. It gets so hot and steamy in this kitchen. Okay, I got my, ooh, that's so pretty. I got my carrots and my potatoes over here, and I'm just gonna use this same slotted spoon and just get a lot of this out. Go ahead and put it into that broth. I had turned it off to take the bones out of there. I'm gonna turn it back on high. And carrots, potatoes. I'm not going to put a lot more in there other than fettuccine. I've got this much fettuccine that I had left from a box and that I had broken up so it would fit in this little jar because I like storing my things in glass jars. It's just nicer. Before I do that, I'm going to add a little drop or 2 of this yellow food coloring to my chicken noodle soup because I just think it makes it look appetizing, more appetizing. If you watch my homemade chicken and dumpling video, you'll see that I did that there too. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Some people are uncomfortable with artificial colors, and I understand that. I just set that over there for now. Okay, let me stir that up. And it just makes it, especially if you have children who are picky or whatever, it makes it look more like, you know, the store-bought soup. If you have kids who may not want to eat it. Okay, now, man, that's sealed itself. It sat on the shelf. I'm going to use my rubber jar thing. Oh. Okay, it's hard to open. And I might put all this in there because I got a good amount of broth in here. Let's see. I'm going to break it up just a little more. I had spaghetti too, but I thought these big, wide fettuccine noodles would make the soup more hearty. Okay, let's see what we got now. That's gonna be really good. Okay. You know what? If I have to add more broth to it, I have to add more broth to it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of the fettuccine in it. There. All right. Now for our chicken and our onions. I'm just gonna take half of it, leave the other half for the pot pie. Take it right out of that skillet. Put that chicken and onions in there. There we go. See, that's plenty of chicken. By the time you have your noodles, your carrots, your potatoes, all that, that's plenty of chicken. And everything's already cooked. Other than the noodles, everything in here is cooked. So you only have to continue to let this cook until these noodles are done, you know, and you don't want them too soft. You don't want them to boil away in the soup. All right, let me move that to the back burner and get resituated, and I'll come back. Okay, I switched burners, and I apologize if it's loud, but I put the soup back there, and I brought the chicken and onions skillet up here to this front burner. I took most of the chicken and onions out, and I added it to this cooker that has the carrots and the potatoes in it. I also added a couple tablespoons of margarine to this skillet. I'm going to make us some gravy that will be inside the pot pie. So I can see I left a little bit of the chicken and onion in here. All right, there's that gravy. That's getting hot. I do have it on high, so you got to watch it. You got to watch it. Whoop, I don't want to use that. That's pre-measured for the... Just make a gravy. So I got a couple tablespoons of butter. I'm going to sprinkle about, I don't know what that is, 4 cups of flour maybe. Let that kind of cook. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I'm not used to showing people how to make gravy. I just kind of make it. But anyway, I'm going to start adding some liquid to that. That way that can cook. I'm just going to add some water for right now, just a little bit. I don't want it sticking to the bottom of the skillet. And I want that flour to cook. I don't want it to be raw. You're going to see it start to thicken a lot. You're going to have to watch about splatters. Okay. Add a little more. And it's going to look kind of yucky at this point, but you just have to keep working at it with your fork as that flour continues to thicken. Turn that burner down some more. Just work the fork all over. And you see it start to turn to something that looks like gravy. There's a lot of these lumps in here of that chicken and onions. So it's not as lumpy as it's actually looking. Okay. I don't know where my whisk is. I usually like to use my whisk with this. It gets it good and smooth. I don't know where it is right now. And I do make the gravy like semi-thick when I make it for these pot pies, because that kind of holds everything together in the crust. I don't really need any seasoning in this because it already has the flavors of that rotisserie chicken and that onion. I'm going to put this over here now because I think that's good. I'm going to put it over here so it'll stop cooking. I'm going to turn that burner off. Now let's start on our crust. We've got here a 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. We got a stick of margarine that I melted. We got a 1.5 cups of flour. And I forget, what is this? 2 tablespoons of water. Mix all that together. I'm going to mix it together. I'll be right back. I took half of that pie crust, and that was after I got everything. Let me back up. I combined the ingredients in the pie crust. I patted half of it into the pie plate, and I put the other half on a piece of wax paper, and I rolled it out because I wanted the top. Okay, here's what else I did. I combined the carrots and potatoes, the chicken and the onions, all into this big pan of gravy. You can see I've got a thick mixture now. I'm just gonna put it in here. Let me see if I have something here. Oh, and that's gonna completely fill this crust. This is gonna make a really good sized chicken pot pie. It smells so good. Okay. Put it over there. Now, all I have to do now is put the top crust on, put it in the oven. Since it has margarine in this should peel off this wax paper pretty easily. And it looks like it's going to. So no problems there. Look at there. Perfect. I'm just going to kind of seal the edges. I'm going to use some of the pieces over here that are extra to seal here. And I don't have enough crust to like pinch it and make it pretty fluted, pinched edges, but if I'd have mixed up a little more dough, I guess I could have done that. But it's going to taste so good anyway. And you know, you can make pies, any kind of pie you want to, with this basic crust right here. You can, instead of making a savory pie, like a pot pie, you can do a sweet pie. You know, apples, peaches, whatever. You can do whatever suits your fancy. And I'm just gonna poke some holes in the top of this to vent it a little more and stick in the oven. You could even get fancy with patterns on this if you want to. I've done that in the past. Pretty designs. Let's stick our pie in the oven. Okay. And we'll let that bake until that crust is light brown, but I want you to look at this soup. Look at here. Does that not look so good? All right, let's let the pie bake. And you know what I forgot? I was gonna put corn in there. I opened the can and everything. Oh well, it doesn't look like there was enough space in it anyway, so I'll save that for something else. Okay, I'll be right back. Here's our finished product. I went ahead and included our corn. I put it out into a container too, since I went ahead and opened it. But just look at how hearty and thick that soup came out. You cannot get soup from a can that looks like that. This pie smells wonderful. I'm sure we will be enjoying these meals for lunch and for dinner for the next few days. I hope you have gotten something from this video. I'm not a professional chef, but I really enjoy giving people ideas on how to use what they have and spend as little money as they possibly can while doing it. If you like this video, if you would give me a big thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you would hit that subscribe button down in the corner, if you're not a member of the Classy Frugality family, I would appreciate that as well. Until next time, have a blessed day.